Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up, Cosmic Crucible Edition. I'm Run 7. Today we had BeniWestSide, Jgiusti, and Pathfinder in the chat on voice with us helping build out these teams. If you want to be live for those conversations, and join us on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. We'd love to have you there. It's a lot of fun. And remember, if there are mistakes made, you blame those guys, not me. All right, room number 1. This is Carlos. He is in Diamond 3, and we've got a lot to talk about in this one. Room number 1 has Infinity Watch. This is fine. It's built fine. Everything's good here. Infinity Watch soaks up a lot of attacks, and so you can bring down their efficiency by putting them on defense. However, they're also pretty good into Tangled Web. So if you want to use them on defense, you should have your Tangled Web on offense to counter the other Tangled Webs you might come along. And I kind of like it that way because I think Tangled Web Mirror is a lot more efficient at beating the Tangled Web teams than Infinity Watch. I've lost some matches with Infinity Watch because there's things you can do to trip people up. So I like them on defense. As long as you keep your Tangled Web on offense, this is pretty good. I'm going to give them an A and move on to the next team. This is the Axeman on defense. This is another one that I'm liking on defense a lot more these days. And Benny gave us some great placement tips. Putting Bishop in the center and then putting Jubilee next to him, assuming you've got a big enough Jubilee, and then somebody like Doc Ock on the other side. Jubilee's going to get hit, and you want her health bar to drop below 50%, which is going to speed up Beast. You want your Axemen to drop below 50%. So if you're not using Doc Ock, you want to put Kitty next to Beast or Bishop so that she gets knocked below 50%. She's pretty dodgy, though. You just don't want to put Beast next to Bishop because Beast has to stay alive on this team. He's the hot target. But anyway, you can put Bishop in the middle, and you can put the unusual characters next to him because if they're big enough and they can stay alive from those big hits, they're going to drop below 50%, and that turn meter is going to go to Beast. It's going to speed the team up. We like Doc Ock in here in place of Kitty Pryde, probably flanking Bishop, putting out those deflects on different characters. Place them however you want. This one is technically done right. You've got Bishop as a striker, Skirmisher on everybody else. If you were to throw Jubilee into room 6 where she gets the legendary bonus, you might consider changing her to a striker. I like this team as is. It's fine. It's an A team. You could get an A+ if you went for something a little bit more creative, like what we were talking about behind the scenes. So moving on to team number 3 is your Tangled Web with Undying. We didn't like this at all. Noir is a trash character. You can have stuff that's already in your roster and built that does the same things that Noir brings to the table, basically. So Noir's a waste. The Undying team is not great outside of war. They're good. They're just not great outside of war because all their war tags and bonuses or stuff are gone. And on defense, you can focus down Hela. You can pick them apart. Now, if you were to go into this with a Tangled Web Mirror, you would need to have Emma, because anybody else, you're going to be too slow. When your 99 goes across and kills that Greg, it's going to rewind the turn meter, and your Spider Weaver will not go before their Spider Weaver. So make sure when you mirror this, you use 99, Weaver, and Emma to go back into it to make things happen. Then you just focus down Hela and it all falls apart. This team could be used to great effect on offense, and that's where I think they should go. In fact, you could use 2 different teams here on offense, the Undying team with Friends and the Tangled Web team with Friends. So I don't like this at all. I think it's just a total waste right here. So I'm going to give this a D. You might trip somebody up with it because it is some new stuff, but we're in Diamond 3 and we need to start playing like we know what we're doing here. So we need to pick whether we're going to be on offense or defense with our roster. Now, you've got Tangled Web on defense, so you should have Infinity Watch on offense, but you don't. You have Infinity Watch on defense. So if you're going to do that, you need Tangled Web on offense. Take your pick. Pull one of them. Fix this. If you're going to run the Tangled Web team, let's get Undying and Noir out of here and come up with one of the other half dozen comps that does really well. Dad Bros, Kingpin, these are some ideas you can throw in there, and they work pretty well. So try that out, see how it goes. Over here we have Gamma with Zemo. Now the idea here is that Doom and Friends usually counters the Gamma teams right now, and Zemo has a 1 in 5 chance of shutting that down. I don't like those odds. I think Zemo could be better used on offense. I think he's kind of squishy. I just don't like it at all. I think the better thing to do is if you don't have a really effective Red Hulk hybrid, you should just run Gamma and take Gamma and move them to room 5 or 6. Don't run them in 4. There's no value here. The latent power isn't anything you want. So I don't like Zemo as a raider here either. He should be a skirmisher. I mean, the whole idea is you're trying to get lucky and land an ability block on Doom. You don't want that to be resisted, so make him a skirmisher for that if that's what you want. The rest of the ISOs are fine. We've got Brawn as a striker. Some people have been arguing with me that Brawn should be a striker and not a skirmisher. I like him as a skirmisher. I'm sorry. When it comes to clearing those net or the positive effects from your opponent, you want that high resistance. I don't care what kind of a focus boost he gets from his team. You want it to work on everything all the time. And his striker is basically adding a rejuvenation when he goes into a vulnerable. Other than that, it's pretty normal damage on his basic. So I'm not a big fan of the striker. I don't like healer and healer ISOs and rejuvenations. I just don't think they're that powerful. But hey, if you like him as a striker and you think that's the way to go, that's something. I run my Gamma team as all healers, so you never know. Anyways, I don't like this team. I don't like Zemo. I want to see Red Hulk here, and I want to see him move them to room 5, which is why I'm giving this team a C-. In 5, we have the Bionic Avengers. Now, if you're going heavy on offense, you can throw the Bionic Avengers in here, move them to room 4 or something else because they're not getting any bio treatment here when your team 4 could be. So move them someplace else. Your ISOs are fine. Your placement is fine. It's great. One of the recommendations we had, if you're gonna use these guys for defense, take out Hulkbuster, throw in Black Widow. She speeds it up and she makes some of the counters that normally go well into Bionic Avengers fall flat on their face. So I'd like to see those changes. Move to room 4, throw in Black Widow, or go heavy on defense and get these guys out of here altogether. This for me is a B team. And we're gonna move on to room number 6, which is an F for me. I don't like this at all. I think this is a waste of a lot of stuff. So we wanna take Red Hulk and move him back with Gamma into 5 or 6. You could be using Phoenix on an uncanny defense. Mine, if it doesn't get great efficiency, it gets a defensive victory altogether. So Uncanny is still something you should be running in Age of X. It's a simple to use defense. It also has some offensive capabilities that work really well. So I think Phoenix should be over with the Uncanny team. We could put Doc Ock with the Axemen if you want, or you could find some other kind of hybrid for him. He's not super useful. Benny really likes him with the Axemen. Then Magneto could go on a Weapon X defense in place of, I think it would be Sabretooth. I'm not sure. You kind of want to keep Wolverine on the team because he's a hero mutant and that helps out with some stuff. So you could try some different things there. But Sabretooth is a Brotherhood member, so maybe we want to replace Silver Samurai, but he's got that stun. I don't know. It's a juggling act. What do you want to do? Who do you want to replace? So you could throw him on the Weapon X team and make a Weapon X defense. I like saving Omega Red for that offensive counter that goes into Gamma, whether they be in 5 or 6. You can make some things happen with that. You know, that's that Red Guardian plus Doom plus Omega Red, and you can annihilate the Red Hulks with that. In fact, that counter will work for this defense. So why waste so many defensive opportunities on a team that's still going to be beat by the same counter? It just doesn't make any sense. Let's get rid of this. Let's either save Weapon X for offense, save Uncanny for offense, put them on different defenses, whatever. I just don't like Legendary Soup. I think this is kind of lazy. I think there are a lot better things that we could be doing with this, and this isn't going to stop anything that is simple Gamma, a straight up Gamma in 6. That would do better than this would. So big waste right here. All right, if you have questions about Crucible, then come hang out in stream and ask the people who know stuff, or me, and we'll help you with those decisions. Or you can send in your picks and I'll go over them with my brain trust of super smart people, and we'll figure out some stuff for you. This has been Cosmic Crucible with Run 7. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too. I'll see you next time. Bye.